Back to our top story now. The government has broken, or is about to break, a major election promise as it makes amendments to stage 3 tax cuts. Many of those who stand to be the biggest losers live in the New South Wales seat of Warringah. And joining us live now is the independent MP Zali Steggall. Zali, thanks for your time this morning. So as things stand, will you support the changes to the stage 3 tax cuts?
Look, of course, I want to see the detail, and I would actually really want to see the modelling. Because I think it's really important to understand why the thresholds have been determined as they're currently being reported. I overwhelmingly feel that this is a decision by the Prime Minister and the Treasurer that is politically motivated in relation to maybe the by-election of Dunkley and also outer suburban seats. Where they are looking at maybe where the income threshold will be most beneficial for them. But ultimately, the major issue I have is the breach of trust. I accept that circumstances in the economy has changed since the election and cost of living has gotten more difficult. But that hasn't been an overnight issue. That's been happening for 6 to 12 months. And so there has been numerous opportunities for the Prime Minister and the Treasurer to not lie to the Australian people, to actually bring the Australian people into their confidence and point out that they were looking at this remodel. It's clear this appears to be a significant remodelling of the stage 3 tax cuts, and so it hasn't happened overnight. And so during numerous interviews, they have clearly openly lied about their intention. And so I do have an issue with that because people do make plans assuming the income and looking at what's ahead. And so I have received emails from people who have indicated, sole income families who have indicated that they were relying on the stage 3 tax cuts as legislated. And so for them, this is very important.
Those families who that sole income that was above 200K, you mean?
Not just over 200K, between the 150 and 200. I think there's a real area there where a lot of people do work that are professionals, executives, young people who are in good careers, who have reached good pay packets. I'm not denying that. But they also are meeting high cost of living. We have some of the most expensive real estate and rents. We know a lot of things are very expensive. So I think there's a bit of an arbitrary distinction that the Prime Minister and the Treasurer are making with the cut-off at 135,000 and this bracket between the 135 and 200,000 earning, and which is where I would like to see more consultation and more analysis of where these brackets have been put.
Well, I mean, it's quite a considered response, Zali. Assuming you've seen enough detail. So back to that first question now. I mean, are you inclined at this stage to support it or not? The changes, I mean.
Look, I am struggling with it, I have to say, because of
that's a no?
Integrity aspect. Well, I have to. I'm being honest. I'm struggling with it. I appreciate for many people in the electorate that they will get a greater benefit, and so for them that will be attractive. But is this really how government is going to operate, where you make promises and you deny intention to do something for so long, and then at the last minute you change, you turn it around? And so I am struggling with that aspect of it.
Should he apologise?
Yes, absolutely. But not just that. Look, to say that I'm not entirely surprised the Prime Minister has done it this way. I am surprised of the Treasurer, because it was only a few days ago that they were still assuring in interviews, no intention to do this, when clearly this is a significant remodel of the stage 3 tax cuts. And so they have to have been doing this for some time. This has been modelled, this has been designed over the course of at least several weeks, if not months. And so there is that real question of integrity. If you're going to straight out lie in interview after interview, it begs the question, what else can we, cannot sort of be believed? My community feels strongly, for example, the Prime Minister promised that PEP 11, exploration for gas off our coast, would be dead in the water under a government he leads. Now, one of the first things he did was discontinue court action, which means it's back on the table and it is still hanging over our heads. So there's been a number of areas where the Prime Minister has been very selective about what he, chooses to stick to and what he doesn't.
Yep, and there's the trust issues now, big trust issues that are going to dog the government from here on in, I would have thought. Zali, thanks for your time. We'll talk to you again soon.